And it was super awkward and really embarrassing, and I just kind of moved on and pretended it didn't happen. Hi guys! Welcome to my car, and this is my whiny dog in the background. I'm home from China! And this is a collaboration video with Scott from Scotty Does. It is called the TMI Travel Tag. Question 1. What was the last country you visited? That would be China. Question 2 is how many countries have you visited? I have obviously been to the United States, where I am right now, Canada, Ireland, Scotland, the Netherlands, the Czech Republic, Thailand, Cambodia, China, and then Hong Kong. Some people count it as a separate country, some people don't. I had a layover, like an overnight layover in Korea. I rode on a bus through Germany. I think that's it. I will count up how many that is and put it on the screen right now. Question 3. What is your favorite place on the planet that you've been to? I'm gonna have to say Koh Lanta, Thailand off the top of my head because it's just like this getaway that's quiet and amazing beaches, really fun bars, just motoing around, and like we stayed in a resort town, like in a resort while we were there, and it wasn't that expensive, but we were in like a villa. I loved it. Next question is, what is your favorite place in your home country? And despite my probably red cheeks and like state of dressing where I have to dress super warm, geese! I think this little town of Anacortes, where I grew up. My favorite city is probably San Francisco. Next question, if you could board a plane right now, where would you go? I've always wanted to go to Morocco, but without a lot of preparation, Morocco might be a little difficult. So maybe if I could fly anywhere right now, I would go to somewhere warm. I am interested in your guys' answer to this question though. Please comment below where you would go if you could get on a plane and go somewhere right now. What is your preference, or I might be phrasing this differently, but basically a city exploration day, island getaway, or a snowy ski break? I'm gonna have to go with the island getaway because I'm such a coastal person. I love the water. I love how islands can be really quiet, like less people. I grew up on an island and I love warm weather, which is something I did not grow up with. So I'm definitely gonna go with island getaway. Next question is, what are your top 3 hand luggage items must-haves? And I would say noise blocking headphones, my Kindle with some books, a variety of books loaded onto it, and probably some hand lotion because my hands get super dry on the plane. I'll link my favorites of all 3 of those down below. Travel tips to share: patience. Be patient. I don't know if you like this, but when I think of travel, I have these like fantasies, these days of exploration where like I get to see so many new things and I have great stories and it's awesome. But when you actually get down to it, traveling does require a lot of waiting in line and a lot of just waiting in general for different things, all kinds of things. So I read this next question and it took me a long time to think about it, and it just hit me, which is why I'm like smirking. When I was living in Nanjing, China, I taught a group of 5-year-olds, so it's around like kindergarten age, an English lesson once a week for an hour. So one day during class, one of my students said something really funny, and right before they did it, like, I don't know, I think they said in English were really funny. You know, like, I don't know, if you're a teacher, you'll know this. If you've ever been around little tiny kids, they say the funniest things. I don't remember what it was they said, but they said something funny. Right then, I was taking a drink of water, and then I thought it was so funny that I like choked on it and spit the water out like in front of everybody. So there was like all 5 of the little 5-year-old kids, and then each of them had either a mom, dad, or like grandma, grandpa, kind of like someone with them. So there are all these adults there too. It was really awkward because no one really knew what I had been saying the entire time, and then they didn't really understand why I was laughing, and I was the only one laughing, but I was also the only one in front of everybody. So everyone was staring at me, and I think they didn't know what to do because they were like embarrassed for me. So everyone was just like staring at me with like big eyes while these little kids just like stop, and like little kids don't sit still like that. And it was super awkward and really embarrassing, and I just kind of moved on and pretended it didn't happen. Biggest disappointment: when our truck broke down on a cross-country road trip in the US. So basically we were going to spend an evening in like a cabin at like a cowboy themed ranch hotel thing next to the Grand Canyon, and then we were gonna stay with Eric's brother in El Paso, and then we were gonna stay in Austin and go to a concert that night, and we were gonna go to New Orleans and stay at a bed and breakfast. And then the truck broke down right after the Grand Canyon, and we got stuck in like a cowboy town called Wickenburg, Arizona. It was terrible. Like, a car actually broke down like 45 minutes or an hour away from Wickenburg, near a town called Nothing, where nobody lives. Nicest surprise, probably our resort in Calanta, because I did a lot of research on like where we should stay and trying to weigh the cost, and we really want to stay in a private villa. We drove by lots of like pretty rundown looking resorts, and then we come across ours and it's like the fanciest one on the island. So yeah, that was a really nice surprise. I accidentally booked one of the fanciest resorts, and we stayed in a private villa, and it was affordable. Great surprise. 3 places at the top of the travel bucket list. Okay, right off the bat, Morocco, any of the national parks in China, probably like Southern Europe, Venice. I've always wanted to go to Venice, Italy. I don't know. I think because I love water, I've always wanted to go there. Favorite food discovery, soup dumplings in China. Xiaolongbao. I'd never had them before, and they're one of my all-time favorite foods. Like, it's a foodgasm in a bite. It's so delicious. Why do you travel? I travel because I have always wanted to, so I did it. Does that make sense? Like, I kind of made it work. I did a volunteer program where I went to New Orleans, and that was my first time. I have a whole blog post on this. Farthest away from home was New Orleans. Then I studied abroad. Then I moved abroad with Eric, and I've done just like a lot of cross-country stuff. I've seen a lot more of the US than a lot of people I know have, and that's just because like I wanted to, so I took opportunities when they came up. Whether or not it was like financially a good decision, I just kind of went for it. What 3 things would you take traveling if you could? My dog, my parents, and a house. It says if you could. It's like I have a settled home, but it can go all over the world with me. Have you picked up any phrases from traveling? Like language phrases? Yeah, I picked up a lot in China. I'm really embarrassed because I know a lot of people who watch my channel are Chinese, and I feel like I'm gonna butcher all of this because tones in Chinese are so hard. Okay, the first thing I ever learned in Chinese, and you're gonna laugh, is 我爱你, which is I love you. I want beer, 我要啤酒. I know how to say a lot of random things in Chinese, basically. A couple things in Irish. Pinta Guinness, masha da hella. That means pint of Guinness, please. Dia Huit, I think that's hello. Sláinte, that's cheers. Basically anything to do with drinking in Ireland, I learned how to say in Irish. Oh, kapkunka in Thai. Okay, I'm gonna play with my dog while I answer this next question. What 2 places would you not go back to, and why? That's a rough question. 2 places? Probably Wickenburg, Arizona. I think I've spent enough time there. I'm really sorry because I know there's someone who watches who I really like. She comments all the time. I really like you, but I know you live in El Paso. I did not like El Paso. I mean, I would go back. That's the thing. If a circumstance came up and I needed to go back, I would. And I always appreciate a good adventure. So if someone was like, let's go on a road trip, we're gonna stop a bunch of places, and we're gonna end in Wickenburg, spend 2 nights there and drive back, I'd probably say yes if I had the time for it, because I like to travel and like just take adventures around places. Your dream travel companion. Oh, of course she's gonna say her husband. Hell no. Eric travels so differently than me. Like, I want to go like super budget option, and I'm willing to travel like by bus and a lot of like cheaper things. Like, I want to do like cheap backpacking and lots of activities. Like, I want to fill my day. Eric likes to like take it easy, try a lot of food, like go to a lot of restaurants, have some beers, kind of slow down and like enjoy, and like a vacation. I want to travel like it's my job. So I want to travel with my friend Surya really bad. I think her and I would be really good travel companions. Most surreal travel moment, probably Angkor Wat. To wake up at like 4:30 in the morning, to take a tuk-tuk to this temple that I'd never seen before. We do all this in the dark. Then we sit down, it's still kind of dark, and the sun comes up, and we're watching this temple just kind of unfold. You start to like see details because you're really slowing down, and like your job there is to sit and watch the sunrise. So as the sun comes up, you're just like seeing more and more detail on the temple. Then when you can see the whole thing, it's just so surreal. And then we toured the temples, and all of them were so surreal, and I really liked it. It was so cool. It just felt like I was like Indiana Jones, or like I was on like a real life movie adventure. I felt like I wasn't appreciating it enough, and it's because it's such a surreal moment for me. The last thing is 3 people you would like to see do this tag. So I am going to tag Lena from Lena Around, of course. Allie from Psycho Traveler, because now you have time now that you're living in Bangkok. Yay! And I'm going to tag Sarah from Wheelies Travels. So I hope you enjoyed this. Be sure to click the annotation so you can go watch it over on Scott's video. While you're over on his channel, you're probably also going to want to subscribe, which I'll of course link down below, because he's doing Jokemas, and I really want to see him and Allie like spurt water out of their mouths on each other. I know that sounds really, really weird, but you'll understand if you go watch his first video. Thanks for watching today, guys. I will see you later. Goodbye.